Hello everyone and welcome back to Fate Zero. This is episode 2. I'm actually genuinely really excited to jump into this episode. I've been thinking, I've actually been thinking about Fate Zero constantly since I watched the first episode because I'm really interested in it. I think that first episode did a great job at it was very dense with information, but at the same time I really was intrigued by it and I want to fully follow this series and understand it and be super engaged by it, because that first episode, it was a long episode and it still didn't feel that long because I was just it was back to back information, and there wasn't even any action or anything in the episode. It was just people talking to each other, but it was still really engaging, which is, I mean, the Fate series, as far as I remember, is based upon visual novels, right? And visual novels, that tends to be their thing, is that they're standing there talking to each other, and I'm a big fan of visual novels. I think they're great, so it makes sense that a lot of this early on especially is that happening. So a lot of people who have been on my channel before know that I take notes while I'm watching shows, right? And so I took a lot of notes last time, as I think I showed last time, but I took a page and a half of notes essentially. But then today when I was looking at those notes, I was looking through them and I was like, okay, so I can kind of find what I'm looking for, but there's so many names and so many things written down that I think I'm going to struggle unless... So I went above and beyond today, and I went and made myself just a little cheat sheet of the names of these characters and what they look like. It's in black and white, so if I'm trying to base it off color, then I'm not going to do a great job. But I just a quick cheat sheet just of their names, and I had to make this myself to, one, make a cheat sheet that can just fit on one page, because I didn't want to have pages and pages of stuff to look around. And two, I wanted to make sure that I didn't get any spoilers, so I didn't want to look up stuff or look up other people if other people had character guides or whatever, because it might include characters that I hadn't seen before. So I just went through the first episode and took screenshots of all of the characters, and I went onto the Wikipedia page summary of the first episode, which just had the names written down, and just took the names from there. So now I have got all of the characters here on this little, technically 2-page sheet, which is very convenient, I think, and that's going to help me a decent amount, where I'm just okay, so, if I need to go, okay, so who's part of the Tosaka family? I can go, okay, well, it's Aoi, which is that mother, that very sweet seeming lady, and her daughters are Rin and Sakura Tosaka. Were there any other Tosakas? Oh yes, and then there's Tokiomi Tosaka, who's one of the other participants. And I mean, you may be looking at this and going okay, well, these pairings make sense, right? It's husband and wife. This is father and son. And then but then as you go further, it starts to make less sense, because why are you pairing up Waver with Saber? These aren't actually pairings. These are just, I just needed to make space on this thing, so I just took 2 characters and put them next to each other all the way down. So if you're wondering why have you paired up characters like Waver and Saber, they have nothing to do with each other, that's why. Yeah, I mean, so going through it, from memory, we got these 2, husband and wife. They have Saber as their summon or whatever. We've got this guy who lost his wife, and so he's sort of grieving. This is his father. His father introduced him to this guy. This guy is another participant in the war that has taken him under his wing, I think. This guy is trying to save this girl, because this girl was taken away from this woman, who is the mother to this girl, and it was taken by this guy who was infecting her with worms, and so this guy decided to accept the worms himself so that he could participate in the Holy Grail and get the Holy Grail for this guy. And then this guy feels like mages should be able to just work hard and not just be born into magehood, and was mocked for it, so he's decided to enter it himself, but I think he's kind of insane from the first episode that we've seen. And then, yeah, she is the summon for these guys, and she's actually King Arthur, but she's a woman. Okay, so I think I understood the first episode. I think I'm following. I think that's pretty good for how much information they threw at me, for me to at least know a basic summary of how these characters interact with one another. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for it for episode 2. Because hopefully, now that I like understand at the very least the basics of these characters, it's going to be easier for me to follow the second episode. So I'm ready for it. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. If you're a fan of the Fate series, I mean, look, I haven't even posted the first episode yet as I'm recording this video, so it's possible that fans of the Fate series have jumped on my channel. It's possible that some fans are like, oh, I wish you didn't start with Fate Zero or something, which, you know, that's gonna be something I'm anticipating some people are gonna be saying that. But it's possible that that's not gonna be the case. So it's possible a lot of people are gonna be like, no, that's a legitimate thing that you did and it's great. But if you are a fan of the Fate series, support the video if you can, so that I want to continue doing more of the Fate series on this channel. And so that, you know, because I swear to you, I'm trying to fully like take in your series with the love that I can. So so make sure to support the video to encourage that behavior. Anyway, this is Fate Zero. Oh yeah, and my Patreon account has the full-length reaction and early access, which means next episode, episode 3, will be on my Patreon account right now in full-length version if you're watching on YouTube. So you should go over to my Patreon account if you're a big fan of the Fate series, you want the full-length reactions, you just have to sync it up with your own footage, but you go onto my Patreon account and you can get the whole reaction for the next episode on there right now. But let's jump into this. This is Fate Zero, episode 2. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Ryder?
What do you think you're doing, breaking the shutter open like that? Why didn't you go through in spirit form like when you entered?
Cannot carry these things while I am in my spirit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And don't whine so much. We're street urchin.
Well, if you aren't a thief, then what the hell are you?
He doesn't look like a thief, he looks like a warrior.
Entirely different. If you stride away, bursting with song, proudly, then what you are is a conquering king.
Just what I needed. Now get out of here. Get lost now.
Oh my god, he's such a brat.
I'll leave you to carry the spoil. Try not to drop them.
You got matched with someone who did not match his energy.
What's happening to me?
That's funny.
Work. So why do I have to do all this?
Well, you
so
wanted to hold
these
it.
Books anyway.
Is that the Odyssey?
It's important because we are preparing
Homer's Odyssey?
for war.
You can't talk to me like that. I'm your master.
Oh. Oh my god, he really doesn't
I
have
am well
any
aware
control
my
of him.
status as servant and yours as my master.
Okay.
After all, but I'm interested in learning where all my old territories are located.
I like him.
I think they're here.
Waver, you got a cool guy. You should be appreciative.
I spent my life conquering that land, and look how puny it is. Very well. This will guide us well in the coming battles.
he's so great.
First, due west, and we go as fast as we can.
The other side of the
And we shall
world.
conquer every land that we pass.
Oh my god.
I shall return honor of my great revival. Now, how splendid will that be?
Don't think that's in his
Anyway,
plans.
you didn't forget the Grail War.
Speaking of the Grail, I have neglected to ask one small thing. What will you do with the Grail once you possess it?
Yeah.
Why? What's it to you what I do?
Give everyone equal magic? I don't know.
Then that would make you my enemy. Because the world cannot serve two lords.
Look, I'll tell you what I really want, okay?
Yeah, tell me.
I just want people to treat me fairly.
Just
I
you?
want to make bother to give me a chance to admit to me that they were wrong.
Small!
Wow. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's a really lame wish.
Narrow mind. Your only concern is for your ridiculous reputation.
Yeah.
And you dare call yourself my master? But a terrible disappointment.
I love this guy. He's so cool.
Perhaps you should try using the Holy Grail's power to grow another 30 centimeters and add a little bit of muscle.
It's also a pretty lame wish, to be honest.
He can't talk to me that way. I'll show him. I addressed the command seal.
What?
He ordered this man, Iskander the Conqueror.
Iskander?
Use his command seal to compel his servant's obedience 3 times, and that's all.
Oh,
If I
okay.
use all my command seals, I won't be able to control him when I really need to.
You get 3 commands.
Yeah, well, you seem awfully confident about that. Do you have any idea how you're going to do it?
So you wish
Kill
to see
all of
my
them.
power?
You need to prove to me that I can rely on you no matter what the situation.
Oh,
Famous can-
awesome. What? What did he do? Holy shit! He changed the weather? Like Saitama or All Might? Oh my god! No, he cooled down lightning! What the fuck? He called down elephant lightning. Wait, what are they? No, they're like bulls. You got a carriage. This is
the
fucking
ox
awesome.
chariot that King Gordius once offered up to Zeus. Then find me another hero or two. Someone worthy for me to fight. Until then, I shall end by sitting here and looking at these maps. Won't pose a problem, will it?
Oh, this is already so fun.
All right, I'm not gonna lose today. You just watch.
Oh.
That's the very first chestnut bud today. First point to me.
I'm not gonna lose.
Oh, that's so cute.
You see, I found one too.
Where is
My
he?
second over here.
Oh.
That branch is actually from a tree called a wingnut. It's almost like a chestnut. So
Doesn't
as
matter,
far
it's
as I'm
cheating.
concerned, It's a chestnut.
No,
bud.
you're cheating.
That's no fair.
Yeah.
No fair, no fair.
I'm on her side.
The whole time we've been playing, you've been cheating.
Yes, but can't win this game against you otherwise.
Keep on cheating like you've been doing.
I don't want that. I'm sorry, Ilya. I apologize.
Do
Oh.
you promise not to cheat like that anymore? A true champion accepts all challengers.
Indeed, I'm very honored. Your Highness?
I like seeing scenes like this where you see the
I'm so high up.
character get to be very warm. Because he's been pretty,
Got
like,
your attention out there, Saber.
serious.
Surprised?
I was under the impression that my master had a colder heart than he showed.
No, yeah, with your daughter, it's a different
I can see
story.
why you might think that.
I'm afraid I must have gravely offended him when we first met.
Oh.
Irisville, you really don't have to laugh at me.
I'm sorry.
But surely there was no need for you two to be so shocked when you saw me.
Well, if we were
I'm so
expecting one
sorry.
thing, and then you see
We
another.
just couldn't help it.
Do you think he might underestimate my ability? Simply because I am a woman?
No,
never.
I doubt
Not
it.
at all. To force the role of king upon an innocent little girl.
It was inevitable that would happen.
I believe that upsets him even more than anything else. Your resignation to your fate.
Hmm.
Well then, he forgets his place. He hasn't the right decisions I made myself.
That's why he says nothing about it to you.
Yeah, that's why he's silently
Afraid
mad
that
about it.
Ritsuko Emiya will never get along with each other. He must have resigned himself to that fact.
Okay, well, I can't wait to the end of the show where hopefully they're getting along.
It is my fervent wish to save Britain, since I could not protect it in life.
Okay.
How long do you think your work will keep you and Mommy away from home? When will you come back?
I should be back here in 2 weeks or so.
Unless he gets killed.
Mom,
I'm gonna be together with Mommy. Well, forever and ever and ever.
listen, Ilya.
Oh.
Daddy?
Can you last till I come home? And I promise you,
It's gonna be hard not to root for Emiya. I think that's who I'm
before you know it.
probably gonna be rooting for the most, because I love a father-daughter relationship. I think that's so cute.
4 times. Or was it 5 times?
What the heck?
And then I have... Wait, is that right?
I don't think I have you on my character sheet.
Phil, do you think that maybe I went a little bit too far?
Oh, Jesus, man. What the fuck is with this guy? Ugh.
Hey, do you believe in terrible demons, kiddo?
Oh my god.
Yo, I'm Ryunosuke Uryu, and I'm a demon.
Ryunosuke?
I don't know if that's the right way to go about it. Looks like some of my ancestors were doing a bunch of research on how to go about summoning demons.
Oh no.
So like there really are demons. Understand?
This guy's gonna be a participant?
Demon really did
Jesus.
appear. If a demon does show up around here, would you mind letting it kill ya?
What the fuck?
What is it like being killed by a demon? Not many people get to find out.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Oh, he's getting the. Oh shit. Here it comes.
O summoner, who manifests me within the vessel of a caster.
What? This guy's
I
weird.
ask you your name. Who?
What? Oh.
Who art thou?
Oh, he's got frog eyes.
My hobby is murder of all varieties. I really like kids and sometimes young women.
Well, the pact is now officially sealed. It's my irresistible desire
He's so
to
weird.
possess the Holy Grail, the sacred vessel of paradise, the cup of awesome and
Does he
terrible
even know what the
power of
Holy Grail
hour.
is?
The holy... what?
Yeah, he doesn't.
You like a little snack just to kick things off right. Here, wanna eat this kid?
Jesus Christ. He's like, well, if you're offering.
Wow, that's human skin, isn't it?
I'm really interested in this. What's he doing? Is he gonna be like a really nice guy, or just give him a hug? Just release him? He's just releasing him.
Little boy, you can leave the room through that door right over there.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can manage that?
What's Ryunosuke gonna... He's not gonna be happy, surely. What? Gonna kill him as soon as he leaves? Or not? I'm scared. What's going... Oh! Jesus! What the fuck was that? I thought he was just gonna get
As
stabbed.
its degrees of freshness, the more all of the other emotions die. Terror. It is the sublime moment when shining hope turns to
Yeah,
utter
I
despair.
knew he wanted to give him hope.
Tantalizing flavor of fresh terror and bloody death.
Jeez, man. Oh, and he loves
You're
it.
awesome!
Shit.
I don't know anything about this Grail crap, but from this moment on, I am with you.
Oh my god.
I've been cooler ways to torture and kill.
Jesus.
What a magnificent omen to be blessed with such an understanding master like yourself. I think dream is nearly within my grasp. Perhaps for now, I'll just call myself Bluebeard.
Bluebeard? Okay. Now, whenever they're trying to like reference historical events, it's gonna go over my head.
You are to leave here now and head immediately to Tosaka Manor.
Okay.
I was under the impression that you were allies with Tokiomi Tosaka.
Don't you worry about that. There's no need to fear.
No need
Okay.
to fear Archer, one of the 3 great knight classes of the Grail Wars.
Eliminate Tokiomi Tosaka at once.
Really? Why? Like the one ally you have? You really don't trust him? This music's cool. Ooh. Whoa. Oh my gosh, this is really cool. This is the sort of scene that Ufotable can really pull off. Oh!
What a slimy worm. Who gave you permission to look up at me?
Is that the Archer?
To fear that, he says.
That's Archer. Oh, Jesus. Jesus! How do they
You are
work?
not worthy to gaze upon me. I'll crawl on your stomach
Huh.
and die.
Huh. Huh. Okay. Oh, ED? Oh, cool. Is this them back in their times? Interesting. Oh, Jesus. Is that supposed to be the assassin? Oh, cool. King Arthur. That was exceptionally fun. I'm really liking this. And you know what I really liked about this episode? The first episode did such a like a huge exposition dump, right? That like, and I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I think it was very necessary for me to get on board with how all of this works. But it was like a lot of exposition back to back to back, and it was really just like constantly telling us, okay, here's what these characters are, here's this gimmick, here's how this works, here's this war. And then now I feel like it's taken so much of a slower pace, and it's really good because like now I can actually start to like slowly take in what's going on in this series. And so like the first episode was such a great introduction, and this episode was just like a really good tone setter for me. I feel like if every episode is like this, you know, in terms of its pacing and all of that, then I'm gonna be pretty happy, because I was really engaged in this episode from start to finish. It shocks me that I was sitting here for 20 minutes, because that felt like 2 or 3 minutes. It was so quick. Yeah, that was a fun episode. Yeah, so I mean, what I get from this episode is we found out that the command sigil things, right? You can use it to give commands to the to your spirit, the person you summoned, but you can only do it 3 times. And so I think that's just like they generally will serve you anyway, but they have their own like thoughts and feelings and stuff. If you get particularly fed up, if they're just like not listening to you, which they are their own person, so they might just not listen to you. If that's happening, then you can use the command to command them to do something, even if they don't want to do it, I imagine. And I wonder how in depth you can be with that command, you know? Like, is it like, you know, I will give you a command to, you know, every time I'm in danger, fight to defend me. Like, is that a command? Or can you only give a command that's like, fight right now? And also, by the way, probably don't give me the answers to these questions yet. I want to see how it happens in the show. I'm just giving these as rhetorical questions so that you know this is a part of my discussion. Me trying to figure out how the show works as it happens. But don't explain the mechanics of the show to me yet, because we're so early in the show. This is part of the fun, I think. But yeah, I wonder if it's like, okay, so I give you a command and you immediately do that command, and maybe it's just a small thing. So it's like, if I say fight for me, they will only fight for you, you know, for the next, like for this battle or for the next, you know, minute or so, and then maybe it deactivates. I don't know, like how it's the same. It's kind of my same questions with the wish, like the I've got notes here. Waver Velvet. He was saying his wish, which is kind of lame, is like, you know, he hates that he's like the bottom of the pole. He hates that people mistreat him and don't respect him and like look down upon him. And so his wish seemed to be just like, I don't want people to laugh at me anymore. I don't want, like, his wish seemed so low stakes and uninteresting, and also something that you could kind of probably do on your own without the Grail, you know? I mean, like, I think what he wants for people to stop laughing at him and stuff, but to still be able to, you know, chase the things that he wants, which is like better, you know, mage power or whatever. I feel like he's going to refine what he actually wants as the series goes on. And I mean, I think it was something that's really fun is that Ryder is probably going to help him with that, and we're gonna see like Ryder making him a more of a conqueror, which is kind of scary. Like the idea of giving someone who seems like he's got like, it seems like Waver has been trodden on so much, like, so he's so beaten down by the world that he really is lacking in empathy. And to give someone with that little empathy then the power to conquer the world, and a conqueror who's telling you, hey, the best thing to do is conquer a world, like that, I think that boy's gonna become a world conqueror. And it's really scary, and he's gonna do it just for the prestige, which I guess a lot of world conquerors that's probably why they would do it, is for prestige. There's not many practical reasons to conquer so much, you know. I'm sure there's like a line where it becomes like, oh, this conquering isn't actually gaining as much anymore. It's just for ego at this point. But yeah, I feel like I'm so far loving their relationship, Waver and Ryder. But I'm really curious, like, you know, where are we going with it, and what's he gonna be like at the end? It would be cool if Ryder like made him, you know, not as much of a dork, and made him like good in a way. But it's like Ryder himself doesn't seem like he's good. He seems like he's a possible dictator / warlord. I don't know. Again, like, because he's Iskander the Conqueror or whatever. I am not a history guy. So when you're like, well, of course, this character is based on, you know, like King Arthur, you know, like, or like if we're talking about, you know, either history or mythology or anything along those lines, it is like so far from my strong suit. It's insane. It's something I'm really, really, really bad at. So when there are going to be references in the show to, you know, historical figures and what they did or what they were, do not expect me to pick up on any of them. Like, I might recognize some names. Like, I know King Arthur generally, but if you ask me, like, you know, like, other than Sword in the Stone stuff, like, if you ask me, you know, to name any things about King Arthur, I wouldn't be able to tell you, you know. So and like from this point on, I'm probably gonna get worse at history, because people are gonna be like, oh, tell me, or, you know, get worse at history or mythology or anything along those lines, because people are gonna be like, oh, tell me something about King Arthur, and I'll be like, well, King Arthur was actually a woman, and they're gonna be like, okay, you watch too much anime. But yeah, so I am going to miss that sort of stuff, but it doesn't seem like Ryder's a good person, but he's very entertaining, and he's got that fun, like, oh, he's got like an honorable, you know, spirit, and he's like a very jolly guy, and I just think that's gonna be a very fun dynamic. So I am looking at my notes. Okay, I've already covered that stuff. I really like the Emiya and Ilya thing that they set up here. Like, I know some people have, you know, we've seen the, like, oh, the father and his daughter are doing something cute, kind of scene in a billion different things of media a million times, and some people who don't get, like, you know, they care more about the action or the more about the story or whatever. They might not care about a scene like that. It might just be like, okay, yeah, get on with it. I get it. He loves his daughter. But for me, I love scenes like that. I think it's so sweet, and it endears me to the character very, very nicely. And like specifically father-daughter relationships, I've always really loved portrayed in media, and it's one of the fastest ways to get me attached to characters, is to do that. And so, like, already Emiya, I'm really on board with him. And like, let me just think, is Emiya my #1 pick right now to win? I think so. Like, okay, so from memory and from looking at this page, the people in the war are Emiya, Kid A, Tokiomi, Karia, Weaver, and then who did we get in this episode? And then Ryunosuke. So that's, did I count that right? That's 6. Let me count it again. Ryunosuke, Weaver, Karia, Tokiomi, Kid A, and Emiya. So that's 6. How many were there supposed to be? Do I have that written down? I feel like I do, right? I have to. Like, that feels like a really, really important thing to have written down. There are 7 servants. So, are we missing? Am I missing someone? Hello, you're seeing me. This is the me from the future when I was editing this video. Well, technically, I was editing after I recorded this video. I edited the first episode's reaction, and while I was editing that video, I noticed they were going through. At one point, Emiya was going through the people, and he mentioned Kaneth, and Kaneth, I believe, could be the other participant in this thing. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, because I feel like Kaneth, Kaneth had a relic or whatever, and I think Velvet stole it. So I don't know if Kaneth is still going to be a participant in this war, but if there was a seventh one that I'm missing, I think it's most likely him is who I'm missing, but I still don't know that for a fact. I just wanted to put that in there while I was editing the video so that you know that my thoughts have changed. But anyway, back to me. I feel like I'm missing someone. But it's possible we haven't met them. But in this episode, they said the thing about all the participants have been chosen or whatever now, something along those lines towards the end. So so I thought that we had just found all of them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6. So maybe we haven't met the last one, or maybe I'm genuinely just forgetting a major character. But yeah, okay, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, so out of the ones we know so far, the one I am rooting for the most is Emiya, but I will say Karia is up there as well, because Karia is also doing it for Sakura, right? And I'm really invested in that, but I don't think I want Karia to win the Holy Grail War. I think I just want him to save Sakura, which I think those are two different things. Because if he wins the Holy Grail War and gets the Holy Grail, what he's doing is getting that and giving it to Zoken, which I don't really want Zoken to have the Grail, because he's going to use it for immortality or whatever, right? And if he uses that, we just have Zoken forever? That dude's a dick. If he was doing all of that shit to Sakura, and it was really horrible shit, you want that man to be around forever? Sometimes you need people to die eventually so that they stop being evil. So I'm worried about Karia winning. So I don't think I want Karia to win. I really love Karia, and I want him to succeed in his goals, but his goals I don't think are necessarily to win. That's just one of the ways of achieving his goal. Yeah, but Emiya, I'm really invested in. And also Emiya has Saber, who already is very interesting to me. But I don't want Waver to win because he's dangerous. I don't want Ryunosuke to win because he's fucked up. I don't, and I think Tokiomi, I'm suspicious of. He's just, I don't know, his plan right away to team up with Kirei was strange to me. And then Kirei, I don't know, man. I feel bad for him if really he's grieving the loss of his wife or whatever, but I don't, other than that, I don't know what he's gonna do. So he's too much of a wild card for me to root for right now. But I really like that it's episode 2 and I already have some formed thoughts about a lot of these characters. Now I'm basing them off of very little information, and I'm going to be developing those as the series goes on. But I really like how efficient this show has been so far at giving me the story and getting me attached to these characters. And I think I get extra attached mostly because the adaptation is really strong. The atmosphere of this show and the music and the animation is all really solid, so it really draws me in. I'm, an introduction to Ryunosuke and Bluebeard, like the one that they showed in an anime that had lesser animation, had a lesser studio to it, that would just be kind of a generic scene, maybe, and it would just be okay, so this guy's a killer and he finds basically another killer to help him out. Great. But the scene had this really great atmosphere to it, whereas like Ryunosuke was already terrifying, and then like this spirit comes, and the spirit's like more terrifying, and they like slowly show that throughout the scene, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really fun, and the like things that came up and grabbed the kid and pulled it back, like the tendrils, really terrifying. So like, and the fear of how that scene was built up, and then that happening, and it was really like disturbing, made it so much more effective and makes these characters more interesting to me because the show made me feel a certain way about it. So yeah, I'm really liking it. And then at the end there, we had the assassin, you know, go towards the Tokiomi household, the Tosaka household, and then was taken out by, I assume that's the archer from the way they were implying there. That's Archer, who the assassin said was one of the strongest ones, I think. And if that's the case, the archer guy looks cool, but it looks like it killed the assassin. So I wonder, how do these spirits work? Is it a thing where it's like they die and then that's it? You know, they just only have one life? Is it a thing where they have several lives? Like if they die, maybe you can use a command to revive them. You know, you can use a command to say like, I command you to come back, and then they revive. So if you die, you're basically losing a command of them. That could be possible. Or is it that, you know, they can die and they can come back, but maybe there are restrictions, or maybe they come back weaker, or maybe, you know, they take a while to come back, or it uses up your body energy, your life force, or they can only come back a certain amount of times based on their strength, or maybe the assassin's the only one who can come back, like he has several lives because of who he is as a spirit or whatever. Like there's a bunch of things that I'm wondering about. I'm also wondering what Kidei's yeah, it'd be Kidei, right? I'm wondering what his deal is, because why did he send the assassin there and then also say to the assassin like, hey, you'll be fine against the archer? Was the plan actually to get the assassin killed? Like, I don't know. Like, it's possible that he is actually on Tokiomi's side, and he thought, okay, I'm gonna have the assassin do this so that we can test to make sure the archer's really up to this, up to defending this or something. Like, maybe he was testing to see if Tokiomi and his spirit were strong enough to be able to, like, be on his side. I don't know. I have no idea. But, yeah. Anyway, that's Fate Zero. Ah, man, I'm liking this so much that, like, I really want to watch the next episode already. That was Fate Zero episode 2. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. And go to my Patreon account. I'm finding a place to put this, this cheat sheet. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.